What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today I have a very special video for you guys because we're going to be doing a flowchart to determine the probability that a girl likes you. You see, the most common question I get asked here is, YBC, she did this, she did that, she gave me these signs. I can't really tell if she likes me or not. And so I'm going to be walking you through a flowchart that's going to ask you a series of questions of things that commonly happen between a lot of guys when they're dealing with women. That's going to tell you with very, very strong accuracy what the probability that she likes you is. Okay, so buckle up, get ready. This is going to be a very fun and interesting video. And if you want to see more content like this, make sure you subscribe because I'm on the way to 100K. And yeah, let's get into the video. So before I ask you the first question, I want you to assume that the probability she likes you is 100% before starting. You see, most guys have it backwards where they assume that she doesn't like them until proven otherwise. They're like, well, nothing happened between us. I'm just going to assume she doesn't like me. And that's a wrong way to go about it. That's like some black pill shit. What you actually want to do instead is assume with 100% confidence that she likes you until proven otherwise. The more things that happen that indicate that she doesn't like you, the lower the probability that she likes you is going to be. This is what a confident mindset entails. Okay, so with that being said, let's get into the video. Have you talked to her, right? Have you actually talked to this girl at all? I know it's a crazy question, but if your answer is no, then unfortunately I cannot draw any conclusions. And you guys would be surprised how many people message me, yo YBC, there's a girl I made eye contact with for 3 seconds. I can't tell if she likes me. Have you talked to her though? Oh no, man, I just saw her at the gym. Like, dude, what are you talking about, bro? How the fuck am I supposed to know if she likes you or not? I'm gonna need a little bit more information than that. So if you haven't even talked to this girl yet, I can't draw any conclusions, okay? I literally can't tell. I don't know. She might like you, she might not. Who the hell knows? If you answer yes, and you have talked to her, finally now we're actually getting somewhere. The next question I'm going to ask you is, does she give you in-person IOIs? And IOIs stand for indicators of interest. And as you can see here, I've listed a couple examples of IOIs. Examples include playing with her hair, staring at you, initiating physical touch, laughing at your own funny jokes, gesture maxing for you, all that kind of stuff. Just signs in person that she likes you. If you're not good at picking up on this, you might not be able to tell. But if you are good at picking up, I want you to give me a clear answer and be honest, bro, because this is the part where most guys are going to cope and say, yeah, bro, I'm getting IOIs. If she's not doing things like initiating touch, laughing at everything you say, playing with her hair around you, standing really close to you, like all of these little things, if you're not able to notice these things, then just be honest and answer no, okay? If the answer is yes, with her giving you in-person IOIs when you see her, subtract 0%, which means the probability she likes you is still at 100% at this point. If the answer is no, I want you to subtract 50%, because usually when a girl likes you guys, she's gonna give you some kind of sign. The reason why I didn't put this at subtract 100% is because there are cases where a girl can be shy or just isn't really used to giving guys indicators of interest. So she could still like you, but she could kind of keep it to herself. But in most cases, she is going to give you some kind of indication of interest. So if the answer is no, subtract 50%. That means the probability that she likes you has gone down from 100% to 50%. It's pretty much a coin toss at this point whether she likes you, okay? Next question. Are you currently texting her? If the answer is no, then I can't draw any conclusions from this point on because, there's nothing going on. There's no communication going on between you guys. If the answer is yes, the next question I'm going to ask you is, okay, has she replied to your most recent text? If the answer is no, how long has it been since your last text? If it's been under 2 hours, subtract 0%. Guys, some of you stress way too hard. You're on some, dude, I texted her and like she took an hour to reply. I don't know if she likes me. Okay, if it's consistently the case where she's taking hours and hours to reply, subtract some percentage points. But generally speaking, you guys stress way too hard. Get a life, dude, okay? People take time. People are busy. She's not going to be busy for chat. That's true. But if it's been under 2 hours, you're just paranoid. You're stressing for no reason. Subtract 0%. If it's been between 2 and 6 hours, I'm going to say subtract a good 5%. Again, if she takes a few hours to reply to your text every now and then, it doesn't mean she doesn't like you. Some of you guys just overthink and stress these things way too much on text. So we're going to drop a little 5% penalty just for reassurance, but really you're fine if you're in one of these two. Now, if it's been longer than a day, this is where things start to get, okay, maybe something's going on here, right? So that's why I said subtract 20%. You know, if it's been longer than a day of her not replying to your text, it doesn't 100% mean, like a lot of guys will tell you, oh bro, she doesn't like you, she doesn't like you. But okay, now it's like you're 100% sure she likes you. Bring that shit down to 80%. Knock that shit down to 80%. You know what I'm saying? All right, if it's been longer than a week, subtract 70%. At that point, bro, you know, you gotta lock the fuck in. If it's been over a week and she hasn't replied to your message, you know, at that point, things are starting to get bad, okay? If you were 100% sure that she was interested in you and that she wanted to see you, now I want you to be around 30% sure, okay? Lock the fuck in here. If it's been over a month, like... I mean, you know, the reason I didn't put it at subtract 100% and I put 99% instead is because you have to leave room for some nuance. There may be a, you know, small case, an exception where she hasn't replied to your text for a month, but she's still thinking about you every day. But, you know, for the overwhelming majority of cases, this is GG's, guys. This is GG's, you know. So yeah, this is basically the conclusions you can draw based on how long she takes to reply. I would do like an average for this. So if she's replying on average to all your texts in under 2 hours, subtract 0%. If it's on average between 2 to 6, subtract 5%. If it's on average a day, subtract 20%. You know, this could actually be higher. Like I could see an argument for why this would be 50%, 40%. But, you know, I'm trying to be very conservative with my percentages here. So from the point we started off, if you're already, you know, if you had a subtract 50% and then you had like a subtract 20%, at that point, you know, there's a pretty good chance she doesn't like you that much and it's all in your head. But again, you know, I'm being very brutal with my percentages here because if you guys look at how girls act when they're head over heels interested in you, you would pass all of these with flying colors, okay? Subtract 0, subtract 0. That's how it should be if she has extremely high interest. Now, the truth is that most girls you deal with aren't going to have insanely high interest. They're probably going to have medium to low. So you might have a few subtractions there, but honestly, it shouldn't be that bad. All right, next up. If the answer to has she replied to your most recent text is yes, then the next question I have for you is who is initiating most of the text conversations? If it's her, you're in a very good position, subtract 0%, because again, this is the ideal case. When a girl is extremely high interest, she's going to be the one investing more. She's going to be the one texting you more. You're going to feel kind of smothered and overwhelmed. If it's you initiating most of the text conversations, I would subtract 40%, you know? So if you were 100% sure she likes you, I want you to be 60% sure now. Because the thing is, if you're always initiating, it doesn't always mean that her interest is like extremely low. It could be the case that she's shy or she just doesn't like reaching out and she wants you to put in most of the work. Some girls are like that. But generally speaking, if a girl's really high interest, she's going to be the one hitting you up most of the time. Now, if it's 50-50 or if it feels relatively equal, I would really only subtract 20%. This is probably the second best case. The only reason I'm penalizing it is because sometimes the guy will think that, oh, it's 50-50, that means she likes me, when really he's just friend zoned, right? So she's reaching out to him, but it doesn't necessarily mean she wants to go on a date with him or she's romantically interested in him. It could just be entirely platonic. All right, so going back here, the next question I have for you is, has she confessed her feelings to you, right? Girls generally don't confess their feelings to guys they don't like. So if the answer to this question is yes, congratulations, subtract 0%. You are in a very good position. If the answer is no, it doesn't mean she doesn't like you, but it just means I can't draw any conclusions. Not every girl who likes you is going to confess her feelings to you. But when she does confess her feelings to you, you can be sure that she likes you. I hope that makes sense. Next question. Have you asked her on a date, right? Have you asked her out, whether it's on text, whether it's in person? If the answer to this question is no, then I can't draw any conclusions. If the answer to this question is yes, then I would like to ask you, what was her response? There are 4 possible cases for what she could reply when you ask her on a date. Number 1 is she said yes and she actually showed up. Then in that case, subtract 0%. Of course, you're in a very good position. If she said yes but flaked, subtract 35%. The fact that she said yes and agreed to the date is something, like there's value there, but her flaking probably means her interest is, you know, relatively low. So if she said yes but then, you know, didn't actually show up, it's reasonable to conclude that, okay, maybe she doesn't like me as much as I thought she did. And of course, if she ghosted you, subtract 99%. I'm leaving that 1% there for nuance. You know, God knows, guys, the world is a complicated place. Not everything works in terms of absolutes. So I do have to account for nuance. Okay. If she gave you an excuse as to why she can't make it on the date, or she's like, oh, I'm busy, or I can't go because I have something to do with my family or whatever, then the next question I have for you is, did she try to reschedule? The reason this question is important is because generally when a girl tries to reschedule, it means she actually likes you. It means she's trying to see you, but the circumstances genuinely got in the way. So if the answer to this question is yes, only subtract 15%. Okay, so if you're 100% sure, now you can be 85% sure. The reason there's still a penalty there, of course, is because if she liked you that much and she was head over heels for you, she would prioritize you over like most things that she has going on in her life. Now, if she didn't try to reschedule, subtract 60%. At that point, it's not looking too good. You can obviously still try to hit her up at another point and, schedule a date and she might show up. But this is just conclusions based on her interest level at the moment. You guys have to remember, women's interest levels can change. Just because it's at 0% now doesn't mean it can't go up in the future. Doesn't mean her behavior for you can't change at some point. So the next question is based on the assumption that you did take her on a date, in which case I'm going to ask you, did she give you IOIs on the date? Did she give you indicators of interest? If the answer is yes, congratulations, subtract 0%. If the answer is no, subtract another 35%. Have you been physically intimate with her within the first 3 dates? If the answer is no, the next question I'm going to ask is, have you tried to be? Because if you haven't tried to be, like if you didn't escalate or you didn't like do anything for whatever reason, religious, moral, then you can't really draw any conclusions, right? So if you haven't tried to be intimate and you weren't intimate, then again, I can't draw any conclusions. But if the answer to this question is no, but you did try to be intimate, subtract 90%. Most of the time, if a girl likes you and you want to be intimate, within the first 3 dates, something's gonna happen, G. Like, I'm gonna just be real with you. If you tried to make something happen and it didn't happen, the probability she likes you is really low, and the probability you're either friend zoned or, she's just using you for whatever reason is really high. The reason I'm saying subtract 90% and not 100 is because there are these unicorn religious women who genuinely, want to preserve themselves and want to be pure and stuff. So just because she didn't let you hit doesn't mean she doesn't like you, but most of the time it definitely means she doesn't like you, okay? If the answer to this question is yes, then subtract 0%. It's a given, guys. Of course, if she lets you hit within the first 3 dates, she likes you. Do I really have to explain this one? And yeah, guys, that is the end of the flowchart. Let me know what your probabilities are down below in the comments. I'm interested in knowing what you guys think about this. If you want to join a community of men who are improving their dating lives every single day, who are getting results with women, who are killing it in the real world, and who are improving their game and mastering the art of seduction, join my community. Link in the description. I'll see you inside.